this year I found.
Add it up. Okay, all right.
Hey, how is everyone doing out there in social media land? I am Sybil, and I am the owner and host here at Millspots Conversations, and we have a convolicious episode for you this week. So let me tell you what the tea is all about this week. Join myself, Nishita, and Julie as we dive into the unique and often challenging world of military family life with a special focus on what it means and looks like with navigating this journey with teenagers. That brings in a whole nother bag of worms, okay? So April is the month of the military child, a time set aside to honor the resilience and strength of children in military families, a tradition that was established in 1986. We will share our personal stories, shedding light on the highs and lows of military life through the lens of parenting as mothers and our teens' experiences. Now, we're not going to be diving into resources. We are your resource, okay? We are going to be sharing our stories, offering offering raw and honest reflections and insights on the joys and the challenges and unexpected moments of raising teenagers in the military community. Okay? Because we always hear about the babies, but let's talk about when them kids get on up in high school and stuff. Let's talk about that. And let's not forget about that hot street trending tea that is hitting all of your news feeds. All right. I'll be right back with the rest of the conversation starters. Ladies, are you ready? Let's get this party started. All right, give it up for all the conversation starters. Let's get what you doing. What you doing?
Drinking tea. Got a tea for the tea.
Mixing your tea for
I'm
the
fixing
tea.
my tea with my cup. Says, let's talk about it. That's right. And I got my tea ready. See, it's ready.
Where'd you get that cup from, girl?
I got it from the store, our store. Everybody should get one so we can all sit together, talk about this stuff in the comments, y'all. Cups.
Yes. Oh, but before we begin, because look, y'all, I am just raw and all over the place today. Let me give a special shout out to our sponsor, USAA, for helping us make Millspots Conversations possible this year in 2024. Yeah, y'all. So make sure you go check out their Military Spouse Resource Hub. Get all your good information and resources right there at USAA. All right, ladies, I'm hot. Y'all, am I nervous? Or is it the hot water I'm drinking?
It's 65 degrees in my house, so no, I'm not hot.
Yeah, it's cold
Or am I having hot flashes?
Oh, Lord. I ain't had dinner in a long time.
All right, ladies.
So, in the past.
Whatever. All right, ladies. So we all have teens and young adults. My first question for you is, were there any differences navigating military life as your kids became teens, not tweens, because in my opinion, there's a difference with tweens and teens. We are going to talk exclusively about full-on teenagers. Did you notice any differences with navigating this military life? No? No?
I mean, I didn't.
I don't. I'm coming from a different perspective. I think, in that our active duty years, I did not have teens, and our National Guard years, I had teens, but it really, I don't know.
Now, Julie, you had mentioned in last week or the previous week's episode about living near Fort Campbell. So how was it for your teens attending school with military children, with the coming and going?
I think, I mean, I guess they could relate to some of it, some of those kids, but I'm sure they had some friends that left, and I think most of their like good friends were like their parents were previous military, so we kind of got lucky there. But I mean, there's definitely a turnover of children or teenagers happening in the schools around here. So that's something to think about. But I never heard any of mine upset about it or anything like that.
So I will share my experience with having teens. So we moved my eldest daughter's freshman year of high school. So she started a new school her freshman year. There was a decent population of military kids there, but I will say this, my kids do not really gravitate toward kids, teens, friends, whatever, because they are military. Most of my kids' friends have always been local kids. Wherever we live, they've always gravitated toward the kids' hometown kids. I don't know if that's because they see me do that, right? Because every time we move, I seek out friendships with the locals. So I don't know. Y'all killing me tonight. Y'all,
sorry. I wish I had
more. Oh, this subject's so exciting. Hold on. Girl, please. You talking about you killing, we killing you.
Okay, look, I have a comment. Raising our children as teens, especially while Oconus, is very different.
I bet.
That is true. I have a senior right now, and we are, as y'all know, in Bahrain. And it's different because she's missing out on driving.
Yeah, I was going to say, in most cases, they're not going to be able to drive.
Yeah, no. She has her license, so she was driving in San Diego. We have a 15-year-old. Our youngest is 15. She's not going to be able to get her permit here. We are going back to Tennessee this summer, so she will get her permit while we are there. But I will say probably the hardest thing, this is something y'all didn't know about me. Ooh. And I'm going to share it with y'all. Y'all see this book right here? Raising the Global Mindset. Want you to tell me. Look, Julie has a copy.
I did my homework.
Whose name is that?
Sybil Jones.
Yes. So I wrote 2 chapters in this book, and one of the chapters I wrote about was fitting in after a move. And I discussed how my children have navigated with finding friends with each move, because we move about every 2 years. So hold on, because I'm going to do a little plug. Let me do my little plug here. Let me find it. If you want to purchase this book, go ahead. I dropped the link right here. It is on Amazon, but use this Amazon affiliate link right here, because when you use Millspots Conversations Amazon affiliate link, we get a small commission that helps us continue to bring you.
I need to visit that link because unlike Julie, I did not do my homework.
Okay, so let me tell you, this book came out, Julie.
I've had it for a long time. I've had it
Yes.
for like at least probably 3 years, maybe.
Yes.
Over 3 years, probably.
3 years.
Yeah.
So this book, I did the release party for this book on March 30th of 2021. And boom, what happened in April? I almost stroked out. Sorry. I can get that.
You can. It's okay.
So I did not get to promote the book at all.
I'll promote it now.
So there you go. All right, y'all, come on. What about activities for your teens? Because when we think about like MWR, all the base activities, most of them, in my opinion, are geared toward the younger kids. What are your thoughts?
Well, the kids do what they want to do. Well, mine did. I was not a good parent. This is not a good subject for me. I was a terrible parent. I hated being a parent. I was never a parent. I don't like parents. I'm like Johnny Depp on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when he's like, your parents. No, but for real, don't teenagers just do what they want? For the 10th and 11th grade was COVID for us. COVID restrictions.
Yeah, that made a difference.
But because of the internet and, the ability to just talk to anybody, our child just kept the same friends since he was little. And then he added some along the way, and then they all just hang out.
That's a really good point. Like, the friends move away.
Yeah.
Maybe like in previous times, that would be it. But
and he started that when we first went from Japan to Italy, because that was a hard move because we weren't on the base and we weren't close to the base. So that's how they would get together. It was on the internet or it was through the video game. They would play video games, but they'd also try to hang out down there, but it was hard because we all kind of didn't live on the base. So then he just kind of carried those same friends with him since he was a tween.
I'd say like church and sports.
Yeah. Church and sports.
We didn't do a lot of, my son's a swimmer. So we did that here. And then he started 9th grade here. And then we went back to Japan. And then he wanted to graduate from his school. So me and him came back here. And my husband went somewhere else, to Bahrain.
Oh, yes. She says that her daughter said while growing up overseas, she would have much preferred doing activities with local nationals. Yes, that is my girls.
I didn't have that experience because it was COVID.
Yeah.
But see, it's hard. There's a language barrier there. There's always a language culture barrier there. And it sounds great. You know what I mean? But you actually have to get them in the schools and stuff. They can't, like, I have friends who their kids went to the schools, but it was all a dream until they got them in there. And then it was like, well, they do this. And then like in Italy, they kick your kids out of school at 1:00. And they don't feed them
out of school. They kick them out.
School is over 1 p.m. from like 8 to 1 p.m. And they don't feed them lunch. So it's just, it sounds great, all this stuff, but when you start actually trying to live in it, it can get a little,
And And I will say, so Angela's comment here, that's why I said tweens and teens, because I think a lot of activities are still very focused on the tweens. Now, our teenagers, for my teenagers, they go out.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to the movies with their friends. They're going out to eat with their friends, the beach, going over to, well, they go to the mall. Except my youngest now, she doesn't do anything because she does not like it here. But that's a whole nother story. But
I think
I am that mom. Sorry, go ahead, Nisha.
No, go ahead. You're that mom. Go ahead.
I am, well, I'll say we are that family who has moved 2 of our children their senior years of high school.
Yeah, see, I don't do anything that would stress me out. I just don't. If I feel like I'm already, because I already have a lot of stress. So if it's going to cause me more stress, I take the path of least resistance. Like, no matter, even if I have to sacrifice big time for it, I will sacrifice so I don't have to, like, be in too much pain stress. Because I will drink my way through it. I'm not playing. Ain't nobody getting nothing. If I get too stressed out, it's over. It's a wrap. I'm Beyonce on that song just for fun. I just need to get through this. I don't know what y'all gonna do. I'm gonna be over here.
Mashida.
I'm just saying that sounds too stressful, and the kids get mad, and then they're all, I can't take it. I'll be like, throw them all out, throw them out, throw them out, throw the whole thing in the trash. I can't.
I know that I have seen that question come up in some of the other spouse groups about moving their kids their senior year of high school, right? Like I said, I did it twice. The first round was a little rough. It was a little rough, but the military compact clause saved the day. It wasn't that my child, actually, the school that we transferred from, their graduation requirements were much more strenuous than the school we transferred to. I won't say where we transferred from to. And it was over a PE credit. A PE credit, because she had PE and health combined. They would not recognize her PE. Yeah. Y'all, I had to pray. I was doing a lot of prayer, but her old counselor stepped in, and she told us about the military compact clause, got everything taken care of, and we did go back to her previous school, and she graduated with her class there, and that's where her diploma came from.
That's good.
So you gotta know. You gotta know.
You do, because you could just really end up. I don't think I stress much about school or like raising my kid as much as I think a lot of people talk about. I just really always took the path of least resistance. Always.
Yeah. On-post activities are mostly focused on younger children.
Can I say, as an MWR employee, it's because the teenagers really only like to show up to stuff their friends go to. So if you have like an ice cream social, a lot of them will show up because their friends are showing up. But if they're having a party at the same time, or they're going to the movies or something comes out, they won't show up. Teenagers are like mini adults. They're not like little kids. And little kids need a lot of like, here, we need to take you here. We need to take you around other little kids and socialization. By the time people are teenagers, they've usually been socialized. So they're doing their own social things. It's hard to appeal to them. I felt like it was hard to appeal to teenagers. It was easier to appeal to elementary school kids and lower. The tweens, you could get them with some ice cream socials, but them teenagers, they get bored. They're like, this is boring, and they leave, or they don't come. Or they don't like so and so there, they're not coming, you know. And then who shows up are the parents, and you don't even show up for your own activities, but you're going to show up for these kids' activities. That's how I used to feel.
Because they want the ice cream too. They're like, no, we want the ice cream.
It's for teenagers. What are you doing? They're trying to see what their kids are doing, because a lot of times kids aren't sharing at that age as much as they used to. Some kids, I felt like at the time.
Well, yeah, and you know what? You have to give your teens freedom. Now, this is veering off from strictly military, but we talk about everything here. So with parenting teens, and we have discussed this before, especially with having the adult kids, about how involved are you as a parent. But let's back up to when they're 16 and 17. How involved are you? And this is as far as being on a military base. We do not live on a military base here, but because I am in some Facebook groups still, I see people complaining about the teenagers. And some of the complaints are typical, in my opinion, typical teenage things. They're going to walk. They're going to be outside being loud. They're going to be at the playground on the swings. There's nothing else for them to do.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me of a really funny story.
Uh-oh.
What is it?
It was a while ago, maybe like 8 years ago. And the teenagers, and I didn't have teenagers then, but the teenagers in our neighborhood decided it would be really cool to just stop in the middle of the road and lay down in the middle of the road. And we were like, what are you doing? Like, no, people, this is not smart. Like, it was like this little phase. It did not last long. Like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah,
let's not do that.
Yeah, probably some TikTok challenge or something, some internet
Whatever
thing.
was before TikTok.
Well, before there was TikTok, what was it? Vine, and then it was
oh my god,
YouTube. They see stuff on the internet, then they do it. What are you doing?
Yeah, now that is dangerous, right? Just laying in the street is dangerous. But, a little bit of ding dong ditch.
Yeah, people in the neighborhood do seem to overreact to something. And I get, like, don't go on other people's property. That's not smart. But, like, you think that, I don't know, it's a little over the top. Like, it's this attitude of, like, when we were teenagers in the 90s, none of that happened. It's like, oh,
girl, they're right, because we were doing way more than that. I cannot stand when I'm in a group of people and they start this nonsense about these kids, and I'm like, I'm older than you. I know. I remember my high school years. I know you remember. Stop trying to act like this.
There were some fights going on at the local, and people were like, "Back in no, absolutely not."
When I was
in the 90s, I'm sorry.
Girl, they stomped people out on the bus when I was young. On the city bus. They did all kinds of stuff when I was young. Like, they stole your sneakers on the way to school. Like, crazy stuff was happening. And now these same people who are adults are like, clutching their pearls. Are you serious?
Yeah, we didn't have the cameras. That's the only difference.
Oh, right. Nothing was caught on camera.
No, I was in the house when I was a teenager. I was just sitting on the couch like this.
Oh, sure you were. Uh-huh.
Like, yes, ma'am. Yes, no, ma'am. Okay, yes, I'll be home by 7. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
No.
Don't believe it for a second.
I was halfway across the city on a bus half the time. Nobody knew where I was at. By myself a lot.
You said no one knew where you were.
How they know? There was no cell phones. There was no way to track you back then.
With what you told them.
If you went somewhere, you went somewhere. And when you came back, nobody would know. If you didn't tell people, if you didn't have a big mouth and just run around telling your whole business, how would they know? Now you just track it.
I saw an article that said that teenagers today don't like to go out as much because parents always know where they are.
Where they are.
They can't get away with going wherever. So they're like, fine, I'll stay home.
And get on the internet, because a lot of parents don't know how to do that. They don't know how to track them in there. So they're all in the internet, all over the world in the internet, just not in their neighborhood. So it's just a lot different now.
It's a different world.
It's a different world. Okay, 1 second, folks. We're going to take a quick commercial break because we need to take a little sip, and we'll be right back. And we're back. All right. Before we get into our street tea, I want to ask you ladies that as moms of teens, we will remove the military out of it, because I personally feel, and this is how I have parented for my oldest is 19 years. I don't look at my kids as military kids. I look at them as kids who were born into a military family.
So they're military kids.
Well, shut up, Julie.
Sorry,
Look.
I had to.
Look, hold on. Bye, Julie.
Oh, you have too much power with that little button to push.
Sorry, I had to.
So rude.
But y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I mean, right?
No, but yeah, okay.
Now, from the day-to-day life, it is you are a kid. But I will address this real quick. How do you deal with your teenagers when your husband has to go away? Deploy, when you are doing geobaching, Nashida.
It's just normal.
Don't do anything really, other than maybe I'll be like, "Hey, Dad, I was drill this weekend."
Yeah.
FYI.
Just so you'll know, he didn't disappear. He went to work.
Although sometimes it'll be like Saturday night, and they'll be like, "Where's Dad?"
My
He's
son,
been gone for 2 days.
he knows. He knows what he's doing. I don't make a big deal about it. I never have, though.
Probably the biggest time that it affected them was when we had to cancel our vacation.
When what?
We had to cancel a vacation.
Oh.
Because he got called up.
Oh.
So, I mean, that sucked, but it wasn't like anything that was like really hard to deal with. It was just, it was me. I was.
Right. It's always me too. I'm the one that's like, okay, it's been a minute now. You ready to come back? After a while.
Okay, see y'all. This is gonna sound horrible, but I used to be, so when we first got married, we were on subs. So his rotation was 3-4-3-4. Then we went to shore duty for 5 years. We were in DC for 5 years after Kings Bay. I was like, when are you leaving? Dude, when I said I do, my first experience as a military spouse was you been gone, and now you're home every day. I love my husband. We just celebrated 22 years. But I just remember thinking that, like, oh, why are you home? What are you doing? And he's gone right now. He's TDY right now.
I don't think about it that way. Like ever. Maybe I will now. But.
It was literally, we got married, we went on our honeymoon, came back, and then he'd left. He was gone. So that was what I knew for the first 2 years. And I'm like, oh, you home? What you doing? That sounds bad. That sounds bad. I'm not the only one who's thought that.
Every
Don't
spouse
judge
has
me.
thought that. Like, bro, even the ones who don't admit it, because sometimes it's just they're there constantly, and you had this whole life set up, and now they're just changing everything and doing what they want, and you're like, look, I just want to do what I want today, and they're there,
Right.
and you want them to go on deployment, but then when they leave, you're like, dang.
If I want to pull the refrigerator out because I want to clean behind the refrigerator and pull the water hose attachment
Uh-oh.
and flood the kitchen, I've done this like 3 times already. Now you home and you telling me how to do it. I got this.
Listen, you let me start doing something, my husband be like, and then he leaves. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I could be replumbing the whole kitchen. He'll come in there like getting away, like she's gonna put me to work. He's gonna leave. Sneaks away.
So, y'all, see, I was thinking this conversation was going to go a whole different way.
Okay,
Y'all
tell
just
me
got
how
me
you
over
thought it
here.
was gonna go. You thought we were gonna be like, oh my god,
Yes,
teenagers.
I'm excited to talk about this because
Why? Like, what excites you about it?
most things that we see as far as military kids is always about the young kids, and it's not about the older kids.
And now you see why, don't you?
No,
And now you
but
see why.
we need to talk about that.
About
I think-
what they're doing. They have their own life that they don't
Well,
even.
I mean, I think it's harder to talk about your teenagers because they have their, like, if I have a 3-year-old, I might be like, oh my gosh, the 3-year-old like ran around the house with his underwear on his head, you know? But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, my 17-year-old, da 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 da.
Well,
They be on the internet. They'll come for you. They be like, I heard you was on the internet talking about me.
I wanted to hear like how it is for them to PCS, saying goodbye to their friends. Which Nishita, you said that your son is still in touch with their friends.
It's just a different world. They stay in touch with their friends. They're not writing letters like we used to, and then you lose touch. They're not on the email, like old people are on the email, but they're not on emails. They're like in literal instant messaging each other, like, girl, what you did? I hate it over here. Do you hate it over there? Yes. Or my mama did this today, or my dad, instantly. Not like, let me write this out and then wait 2 weeks for them to respond. It's just
To answer that question, we actually did a show.
Yeah.
Was it last year?
It was
last year.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Yep. And we had 2 teens come on and they shared their experience. And those 2 teenagers are now in college.
They're adults.
Yep. They're adults in college and doing very well.
Right. Like,
I will tell you,
a technical teenager, but he'll be 20 this year. It's really nothing to. I only have.
I still have a teen. She'll be 20 soon.
Right. I just push him on over into the 20.
I will have teenagers until 2030.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Girl, I wouldn't.
2030. Is that right?
I'd be drinking. That has something.
What's in that cup? Look, Nishita's like, I would have some tea and a little.
If I had some kids at 48, girl, they wouldn't make it. They just be in this world living by themselves. Like, why are you talking to me? Don't you see me drinking this?
Now, I will say that my daughter, who is now in college, and even my senior, she has told me that this constant lifestyle of moving has been beneficial for them. My middle, she knows how to network. Okay, she is the networking queen. I'm like, what? Who? What? My oldest, she went off to college, and she was like, hey, I met my friends. I knew the people that I would connect with immediately, and those I needed to stay away from. And that's just from constantly having to move making new friends. And y'all know, and I tell my kids this, y'all know my 3 categories of friends. What's the first category, Nishita?
I'm not participating in this.
Julie, what's the first category?
Your house.
I just need you to step into the millennial. You just hold on too tight to this 90s stuff. You see what happened to Diddy and everybody in the 90s? They all getting in trouble. You need to just
Those
let it go.
acquaintances, good girlfriend.
Right.
Girl,
And we
you need to let the
all
whole part go.
got some.
I don't. I only have friends. I don't have.
Look,
if you my friend, you my friend. If you not, you not.
my life is clean. There is nothing for anyone to dig up about me. Okay.
Okay.
Is that a challenge, Sybil?
Not for me. Look, I believe you, girl. I believe you. That time.
But Nishita, see, let's go ahead. We're going to talk about teens and the military life. We'll come back and revisit that another day. But Nishita, let's go ahead and transition to that street teen.
Oh,
That
you
is
want to talk
brutal.
about your boy? Did he do it? I saw a YouTube thumbnail that said that. Did he do it? I don't know. This was lame. Well, a lot of popular 90s figures are being, exposed this year, including Puff Daddy. So that's all in the news.
Love. Isn't that his new name? Love.
He could change it now if he wants to, but he's still going to be P. Diddy, Puff Diddy, Sean Combs. He's still going to be that person no matter what. When they bring him up on charges, it's going to be his government name, so it don't matter. And they can say AKA criminal. No, I'm just kidding. Allegedly.
Oh, Angela asked, do you think he did it or didn't do it?
Of course. I believe he did it. That allegedly. Of course.
I want to believe he didn't.
That's like people want to believe R. Kelly and Bill Cosby didn't do it, but of course they did, because that was the culture. That's what they were doing.
And Jello pudding pop.
Yeah, he was putting a little, on the pudding pop. Here, girl, get this pudding pop. Oh, so on another note, I cannot stop listening to this new Beyonce album. I've never downloaded a Beyonce album. I downloaded this one. I have not stopped listening to it since my friend came running to Messenger and she was like, girl, you gotta listen to this. And I was like, I like Beyonce, but a whole album, I'm not sure. Because on Lemonade, she kind of like, I had gone through Lemonade like years before she went through that. So when she was singing about it, I was kind of like, yeah, I get it. Yeah. But this album right here, she's just singing my life on it. I'm just like, oh my gosh, what? Song after song. And it also doesn't help that she took like some, I don't know, it just sounds a lot like a fusion. It's not just like, it's almost like saying, the roots of music are kind of all the same, right? Like, because we all kind of came from the same places as Americans, because we all, like all of our ancestors were in certain spots only. And so this music is kind of like a fusion album because it's like the roots of it are still those people who came here and that were like country people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of folk music sound in there.
Okay. Yeah.
I love with this album and I cannot stop watching it. I mean, it's in my head right now. I'm just like,
What song are you singing right now in your head?
Okay, so on there's that. Well, the 16 Carriages that came out. I had really liked that because, yeah, I did. I watched My Dreams on them carriages too, girl. I caught up with mine. Caught up with them. But anyways, yeah, and then there's this song called what is it called? I can't remember it, but it's her and Miley Cyrus. She's singing about riding shotgun with her man. because that's what we do. We ride out.
I don't know that. What song are you talking about?
I forgot the name of the song. It's
Have you listened to it, Julie?
No, I've just been like catching things here and there.
Oh, Two Most Wanted. Her and Miley Cyrus on there, and you know she redid Jolene.
Yes.
Because look, I'm gonna tell you something. I always been the one because I was in the military. I see these little girls coming in there with their little eyelashes on and they little hair in a cute bun, and they be like, "Hey, sir, sit your behind down somewhere because I already know what you're doing. Just go sit down." And see, when she remade Jolene, I was like, yeah, because you know people think you're crazy. I'm not crazy, but I could get a little possessive, just a little bit. So she remade Jolene, right?
I knew it. I knew you could be possessed. I was like, all these years.
I can, and it only happens sometimes. My husband gets so exasperated, but I'm like, I don't care. I know. Just like you know men, I know women. I know little girls. I know that mentality. Hey, sir, would you like to pin? No, go find your own family to do whatever. Don't be asking my husband to do nothing. I don't care.
Oh,
You want me to do it for you? I could do it for you. So she remade that, and it's almost every song. Like she had me from the first song, but that song, just for fun, when she's just like, oh, I just need to get through this. I don't need anything. That's literally me. When I go through anything, I'm just like, I need it. I'm just gonna like I said earlier, I'm drinking. Leave me alone. I don't need help. I don't need nothing. I just need to get through this. I might need some therapy. Like I'm gonna go to the therapist. And also the doctor to get some anxiety.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a little therapy. We all need a little therapy sometimes.
Visit the doctor, get my anxiety meds.
We all need it sometimes. You know what, guys? We should talk about that. We should talk about therapy.
Yes. And then okay, and I'm gonna be finished. This song about riding shotgun. This song, Two Most Wanted, right? So when me and my husband first got together, I love to drive. I drive across the country. I drive in every country we've been in. I drove there. I love to drive. He always got to drive. So at first I'd be like, why you always got to drive? Like it would just get on my nerves. But now I always ride shotgun. I got that seat. It's my seat. I go over there. I get on my phone. We stop to get drinks. I drink my drink. I have turned into such a spoiled brat like over the years. So when this these Levi jeans, I'm like, yes. So this whole song is like post traumatic marriage era, because you have this era in your marriage where you just like, if you don't, I'm out. And they be like, you can get to the moon, Alice. And you're like, no, I'm here. And then you like, I don't like you. They're like getting up and like seeing each other and staying there. And then one day, like Michelle Obama said, your kids leave, and you're like, you look a little cute today. Like, you look different. What happened? Hey, you want to go eat? You want to go? So
you want to go eat? Look, you won't go. You won't go.
Yeah,
eat.
we started playing golf together. That was it. We had one blow up on the on the golf course.
On the golf course?
Yeah, I just blew up.
Yeah. You know what, Nishita? You need to stay in therapy.
No, that wasn't the look. I had therapy, then I started playing golf. But just one day, I was just like, "Stop telling me what to do." I was just shut up. And then, he was like,
"You're supposed to be quiet on the golf course."
Well, so how golf courses are is that sometimes there's a big wide space where you're the only people there.
Well, true.
Yeah. But anyways, after that, we just had a lot of fun on the golf course. So got to know each other a little bit better again,
Because you do, you know what? We're going to wrap this up for real. You do have to continue to date and redate your husband. When you're in a relationship, when you're right, because I think a lot of times in marriage, and especially after children, we forget. I didn't. A little bit. I did a little bit. I did a little bit. We forget that we have to date our spouse. Just like you have to date yourself.
I just felt like it wasn't time for all that. Like that's I feel like people tell you that all the time because they haven't been married for 20 or 30 years. And so there's sometimes there's not time for it. So get off my back. I'm not going to see you for a week, okay? Calm down. A month might go by and y'all haven't really talked. There's just so much stuff going on.
But you know, I think in this younger generation, even the first couple of years of marriage.
Well, they're not getting married and stuff, so.
Well, that's true too. But
they're smart. They're smart. Make your money first, then get married.
You have to continue to date your spouse. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to have a show about that.
Yes,
but we're going to also wrap up. And with our teams, what?
I said we need to be realistic during the conversation about sometimes you ain't gonna be dating. What's gonna happen?
What you want, Nishita?
It's not gonna happen. You're gonna drift apart. Then you're gonna slam back into each other. You're gonna drift apart. Then you're gonna slam back into each other. You're gonna push each other out the way. And then you're gonna be like, oh my God, you're so cute. And then you're like, I hate you though. Get out my face. It's like marriage is like
that is true.
Not like
that is true. Because there are times because that's why I'm like, all right, dear, it's time for you to go. You're home. It's time for you to go. Because it's like
just don't leave at the wrong time.
But especially when you start having kids. Right. And as the kids get older, you realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm about to be in this house alone with you. And I don't even know you anymore. So we're gonna talk about that. Again, folks, this conversation did not go how I thought it was going to go. So I'm going to do tea time with Sybil, and I'm gonna spill all the tea on my.
You're gonna talk to yourself, so you don't have to hear the feedback.
I love the feedback, but y'all were not. I'm like, okay, I needed y'all to give me a little bit.
Have it. I don't have
so I could pull some questions. And hey, audience, they do not know the topic until like a few days before because I want to have a real conversation. I don't want no rehearsed answers. Like
maybe we needed some today because these kids, teenagers, they have their own life. They're out there doing their own thing. I don't know. I was really minding my own business a lot when my son was growing.
But I wanted to talk, I was thinking I was going to get some responses about, moving with the kids, why you choose to stay behind versus moving with them. How is it, moving them their senior year, which I was going to dive deeper into that, but I didn't want to just
That's because you like to talk about that, how you move. This is like the umpteenth conversation we had about how you move your kids in senior year. You love that. You love it that you did that. But some of us didn't do that. Like the rest of us were like.
Right. But I wanted to talk about why. Like, why did you choose not to do that versus why I did?
Because it was hard.
And as well as like the impact.
Doing hard things.
As well as the impact of our children being military. Because I think, but anywho, we'll talk about that. We'll continue this conversation. Maybe the 24th. We will be back on the 10th for another episode at 12 noon Eastern time. So tune in. Watch the show. All right, peoples, we are out of here. Thank you. Ooh, I'm losing my voice. Woo, shoot.
Oh, what's going on in these internet streets?
Let's talk about wrong it. Soundtrack. My bad. Wrong one. Here we go.
But I can put an end to your fears. Let me show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet until they start to bleed. DJ, take it away. Tonight is all for you and me. So baby, spin and let the music begin. I know you feel it within. So go ahead and just spin for me. Won't you spin? Don't let the doubt in you win. I know you feel it within. So go ahead and just spin for me. Won't you? I know it's hard for you to give it a try, but you are not alone. I'm here with you. I think you owe it to this beautiful night to lose all your control. Do it for you. Let me shy, but I can put an end to your fears. Let me show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet until they start to bleed. DJ, take it away. Tonight is all for you and me. So baby, spin and let the music begin. I know you feel it within. So go ahead and just spin for me. Won't you spin? Don't let the doubt in you win. I know you feel it within. So go ahead and just spin for me. Won't you? I know it's hard for you to give it a try, but you are not alone. I'm here with you. I think you owe it to this beautiful night to lose all your control. Do it for you. Let me shy, but